Hello there and welcome here to Farming Simulator 2022, I need to remember to say. But first of all, I need something on my phone and I need to also prepare over on here. So this is you. But we need to just rewind here because, I mean, this is literally written as being off this. So let's do this. Tonight on Top Gear, Richard criticises the fucking hell, where was it? Yeah, criticises it's disappeared. Where is it? It's now different. Don't like it, it's wrong. Ah, yes, here we go. Tonight on Top Gear, this is smooth. We're live, fucking damn it. We're live. Tonight, Richard criticises the civil service for not having the creativity to invent Peppa Pig. I and Moses and James May imitated the noise of an accelerating car. Now that was Boris Johnson today, apparently. Dear oh dear, dear oh dear. Anyway, we'll get cracking here. We will move over to the... Bring you up, bring you over here. That's looking good. Everything is fine. I've got sound here, I've got sound there, I've got here, and there we are, and this is Farming Simulator 2022. And oh my, is it good? Yes, it is good. I can just, just reveal that immediately here. Well, the best way to describe it really is with every release of Farming Simulator, it sort of just gets a little bit better every time. And this time it's just been incrementally bigger and bigger and bigger. And this time it's definitely the biggest step forward by far we've had in the franchise. I am on day something or other. We start out in August. And I'm in America. I'm on what's this actually called, this? Elm Creek, I think it's called, is the map I'm playing on. Oh no, now we're knocking down here. We don't need to be doing that. Just a huge amount of changes, really. Just polishing, changes, improvements all round. Really, just exceptionally well done. 10 out of 10. Just great work to everybody involved for this because it's just really fucking good. I've cocked this up here. We need to turn in here. I'm on a controller because I think this game needs to be played with a controller. And also I'm in America, so I must be supporting Trump because I'm a farmer. And yeehaw and all of that. But we'll just get in here. We need to seed this field right here. I will say though, even though the map is really nice this time around, it looks really good and that. Just always just hoping and looking forward to the first good user-created maps because they're just... Oh, hang on. Wrong way. There we are. Yeah, user-created maps are just always nicer because they're just able to go into detail a bit more. Hang on, let's also just unfold you. There we are. And you're working over there. It's all looking fine and dandy. Yes, Elm Creek is where we are. It's American. No, I need to move you back there a bit because, yeah, I need to have some movement ability around me, and if I just quickly twiddle this here, yeah, will be good for the audio, and everybody's happy with that. So yeah, here we are. I own quite a few fields. Let's quickly bring it up here. Saving. Quick save, that's a feature still, and it's kind of annoying when you go in here to look. I own this bit and that bit, and it's just what I have to start off with. I converted all my money from the from the previous game over to this, so I now have a lot of money to get started with, otherwise it's a bit tedious. But just in terms of general changes, to just go real quick, oh boy, there's a lot of them. Seasons is in here, that's nice. 10 out of 10 again for that. Just a lighting update, just in general, it looks nicer by some degree. On top of that, there is a sort of a bit of an overhaul to the placeable, that's the word, placeable objects you have in the game, which is very nice, of course. It's sort of a bit more usable this time around. That's where the first point where I'm like, oh yeah, I could probably want something a bit different here, but again, just down to personal taste. Physics-wise, it's sort of just a light polishing, it feels like, rather than a revolution of what we had before. And that's okay too, because the physics are becoming entirely passable. Again, as I usually say with these things, I would like everything to have the proper weight, because clearly it doesn't seem like things have the proper weight and the proper mass and all of that stuff, but modders will fix that and I will be thankful for that. Oh, that was wages getting paid out here. So we'll just get... Oh dear, it's loose. And in here we go. So yeah, that's all been done. It's all very different if we open up here in the menu. And we... No, that's the wrong menu. We don't want to be looking in that menu. That's wrong. And I should be ashamed of myself because we have got a lot of new and different equipment. We brought up all of the... Well, a lot of the DLC equipment we had anyway from the class expansion and all of that. We've got Grape Tech now. Just a one. New Holland down here. We've got this. We've got used vehicles. Oh, hang on. Nope. Nowhere near far enough down there. But yeah, used vehicles that you can now buy, which is very nice. 10 out of 10. And they've even improved on the way the mod for Farming Simulator 19 worked, in that here it's a limited selection that is available to you, which accurately reflects how it would be in the real world, because, you know, a local machinery dealer would just have whatever was traded in add there. Nope, come on. That's because I'm pressing the wrong button. That would be why, yes. But yeah, you would normally just have whatever it is they've had traded in. Like, I go past one every day, an agriculture machinery shop, and they just have a random selection of parts and vehicles and equipment that were traded in. So yeah, that is just, again, perfectly sensible logic being applied here by Giants. Shocking in modern day video gaming. And that, like, you know, I don't even think Giants do sexual harassment at work, so they're better than Activision. Like, I'm half disappointed I can't rename fields, because obviously I would have a field called Bobby Kotick is a cunt. Because, you know, I feel like that just deserves to be written across this entire field in big bold letters. Anyway, we're here to be happy and positive. In terms of the actual models, they're really, really nice. Like, if you remember back to 13, Farming Simulator 2013, how they looked then, and to the improvements in 15, and then up into 17, 17, and then 19, and now this. I mean, absolutely excellent progress right here. Just really nice. In here we've got, if we look up here, see, we turn on the lights, and that, oh god, yeah, that's weird, isn't it? But yeah, you can see there, you can see, if you can, just look up there, just underneath the sun, next to the hazard lights. I think even if I put on the hazards, which you don't do by pressing that button, right? Is that the button I do that on? Yes, it is. I just need to not be holding down anything on my controller. Yeah, see, it's flashing up there. See? See, that's nice. I like that. Lots of nice little details down here. Audio design. Beautiful now. Absolutely spectacular. Very good. I haven't really gotten onto animals quite yet in this. Just, again, a bit early for that. But overall, really nice. Really good. Like, if you're interested in Farming Simulator, well, if you are, you've probably already bought it. And that's good because, you know, they did a really good job. I bought the disc version. I bought the collector's edition version directly. No, well, not directly from them, but from a retailer. So bloody Steam ain't getting any of your mum money. Just cut out the middleman, will we? Yes, we will. What else do we need to be doing here immediately? See, I was a bit concerned that I would not have enough to do. But if we look into the crop calendar here, you can quite clearly see that we have got corn, sunflower and soybeans coming up as being harvestable soon. And I happen to have fields with that on it. So we're going to be supremely busy once it's the next day, because the way I've got it set up here in my settings, if we go down to it, which is down here, you can see days per month. It's now 2. So shocking, really, for the real world, but here it is correct. For this anyway, for me, that seems to be a good way of doing it, because it technically it has a. Well, we'll bring up the menu again in a moment. Oh no, don't fold it up. We don't need to be folding here. One slight issue, and it's just always a thing, really, in terms of just getting licenses for everything, is that they kind of hit like a broad market in terms of the equipment available. It's not like if you do a US centered farm, you will have a lot of US centered machinery available to you. However, we need to go up here very quickly. They've added in an absolutely fantastic thing. You can now toggle between EU and US configurations of the tracks, and you can obviously see there's some pretty significant changes going on here. Really nice! So good! Because all of a sudden you've made your game just 100 times better because it fits a lot more. And we've got license plates and everything. Like, wow, it's so good. Just so good. Like, the positivity about this is just unrelenting as far as I'm concerned. Nothing bad to say. I mean, I have my usual niggles, but that's more of a game design decision and aiming towards a wider audience than not catering specifically for my needs, which, you know, I'm going to probably have to accept that I'm looking for something specific and a bit niche, which most farming simulator players aren't necessarily looking for, and so I can't really complain too much, because again, with the weight, the way they are weighed down, of course, the vehicles just doesn't quite feel right. What is it? It was something else, another point I was going to make there, but hey, that's out of the window now. Let's just leave that to one side for now. But yeah, what I was talking about, changes they'd made in terms of everything. Oh yeah, they've added in like a lot of things. Like now, when you've done row crop, like anything with a planter rather than a seeder, you need to plough, which I suppose makes sense because you can't just do... Oh, wrong button again. Wrong button again. Let's just reverse you here and turn you around down here. Yeah, oh yeah, I know in terms of some of the stuff that, where again, you probably will be, well, I know I will be focusing on what the modders can do, is with the new placeable system. Because if you've played Elm Creek, you'll know what the standard farm looks like, and it does not quite look like this. I believe that house is placed where it should be, because of just with the way it's designed over there. But other than that, that barn isn't there normally. I've put that there. Because, you know, it doesn't look very American though. Like, again, I would say that's American, that's European. Like, American, European, American, European. But I could be wrong. Like, I don't know what an American barn looks like, although I don't think it says Ackerbau und Gaverbau on the side. That sounds a bit too German for me, but I could be wrong. Also, yeah, that's like really old by now, but that's what I bought. Fleal, yeah, in terms of just equipment, again, Fleal clearly not an American mate, that's German, right? Like that literally says CE on it, so that's now been approved for EU. And it does say Modeljahr on it, so yeah, it's definitely German, which does make sense. And there's again right there, yeah, pretty much just exactly the same. So that's one of those things, and I would like to make immediately right now, I'm going to call it on release day, the sort of platinum, titanium, you know, mid-life big update expansion pack that they will be selling. That will be based in Australia. I'm calling it now. My logic here being, if we go into, is it trailers or is it auger wagons? Down here, are they here? Nope, they're not here, so they might be in auger wagons. Yeah, there they are. See these walkabout mother bins down here? This is the fucking Australian thing, isn't it, mate? Oh, you know. And we've also got, because I actually own this, where is it? We're running out of time here. We need to turn about. It's a bit untidy, but fuck it. I don't give no fucks. Oops, let's not do that, shall we? Let's not mess up that field over there. I might be harvesting that at some point. Not sure yet. So anyway, yeah, let's open up. Oh, let's just straighten itself out here. Yes. It's wheel-loaded tools, right? If we go in here with this McCormick Industries, because that's Australia, isn't it? I mean, it's Australia without Tasmania, but it's still the Australian mainland. So I have a sneaky suspicion that we might be going down under for the expansion pack, which would be cool, because that's pretty much the only place they haven't gone, because with 17 they went to Brazil, and where we got sugarcane in. So that's obviously good. And now we just need to expand upon that. Oh, I've gone into me sunflowers. Here, and that's no good. But yeah, there is just, again, few things just in terms of design decisions that I wouldn't do. But again, I'm appealing to myself in my way of approaching this and what I want. That's not what everybody else might want. If you are a casual farming simulator, you might not want to have like the mud things and the REA real enhanced things with the vehicles and all of that stuff from previous games. But you know, I just enjoy having a realistic farming experience. Other people just enjoy just mass producing down here. One of the additions to this game is production chains, which I don't care about because it says it in the title, farming simulator. I want to simulate farming, not simulate production chains. But you know, I can accept that, you know, with Global Mod Company and all of that for previous games, it's a pretty big market really in terms of players that want that kind of action, and why should I stand in the way of them getting it? But in terms of bale handling, you haven't touched that yet. That's one of the other key features to home in on. Haven't given it a bash yet. And also, can we just accept how bloody nice the default map is here? It is so much more detailed and well crafted than previous ones. Like in this one, I've actually bothered to do placeable barns and that, which I haven't done previously because it just doesn't feel that nice in the previous games. But here, it feels like a much, much better way of doing it. I would still prefer if there wasn't perhaps that kind of detection, but like where it blocks you from putting down things, because you have to place things at times artificially far away. But you know, fair dues really. We just quickly, oops, that's fine, it's fine. I'm a farmer, I can hit things, whatever you want down here. We'll just drop you off here. I don't think we'll be needing you right now. Well, we do have a couple of fields that we can sow on, but I do have plans to, if we go back up here, to merge a couple of fields down to make it feel a bit more American. Although that technically is one of the ones I want to do that on, but I want to merge these fields here together. Shit, that's cotton in it. Yeah, that is cotton there. Oh, it'll just have to go to waste, really. Okay, let's not turn wheat off, shall we? Let's leave wheat on right now because we need to go in and see. It's the first season, of course, so there might be some slight issues in terms of crops when they are growing, because clearly according to the calendar, which is not there, it's here. We can see, for example, that corn. Well, corn should be harvested. Corn, sunflowers and soybeans should be ready to harvest soon. And we have got... If we move over here, we've got, yeah, corn, and we've got sunflowers there, and we've got some soybeans. So, yeah, that does check out as it is right now. But, yes, what you're seeing right here was just a normal small field. And, yeah, I've just changed that out. I don't like how far away that fuel tank is. Also, it doesn't localize to where you are, because clearly we're in the US. It should not say a euros and litre, should it? It should say dollars and gallons. Because her, I'm American. Pow, 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 pow. But yeah, I filled that one up here. Again, nice you have to buy it. And I would imagine now that it then gets emptied until you buy more. They've listened to me. Giants are listening to me, damn it. And I like it. Because they've done a really good job here. That's also something I placed down. I mean, in fairness... It does seem like they're far away, but probably that's quite right in terms of just fire protection thing. Like that would obviously need to be slightly further away if it was completely correct and there weren't any kind of fire regulations. Because you know, obviously that if that catches on fire, probably still going to catch on fire there. And likewise here, boom, over to there. But you know, it's fine-ish. And there was a building over here, but I put a shed where I can put some lime down. Ready now. There's a weather forecast improver here. Can we actually open up this, or is it just... Oh, we can. So there's actual usage. Oh, look at that. Look at this. I've not seen this before. What is this? What is this? This is obviously a farming simulator map of some description. Is it this? Oh, it's this map right here. So he's recreating a small version of the map that we are playing on. That's neat. And then we've got a bag down there, and we've got... And then we can pick all of this up, but I'm going to assume it's just going to respawn. So we could put, in theory, bales down here. Can we do anything up here? We can't open that door. Can we open this door? Yes, we can. So obviously we could put bales in here. This would be... I mean, it wouldn't really be suitable for bales. Is there any usable up here? For like small baby bales, you know, like those little ones that they use. Or we can open doors here so we can like chuck bales out of the window here or out of the door. That's kind of neat. So we'll just run down here and see if we can open the door here as well. Hola chicas! And then we can run all the way up here and we can be a troll on the loft. Well, actually, is that a thing elsewhere? Or is that just here where like you've got, you know, Christmas elves living in the loft? Because that's what we are here now, ain't it? We can punch out this window and then we can gun down a bunch of people. Because we're in America. And we got to shoot some people because that's what they do. But yeah, we're going around. We can do pow, 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 pow. And then boom, boom, boom. And then people are dead. And then that's just America. Otherwise, what else do we need to do? I'm totally in control of my own mind. We'll go in here and see if there's anything we need to be doing right now. I don't think so, because that's been harvested. We could plant over here. I mean, we've got those down over here, so we could put... no, we need to merge those two fields together, so we'll hold off on that. I did harvest field 45 here using a leased potato harvester. That wasn't a good idea because I got about half of what it cost me to lease it back from actually harvesting it, so I need to be somewhat circumspect here. But yeah, it's the same system for buying land that you had before. You click on a piece of land, some pieces of land you can't buy, which is quite annoying. Because I was like, oh, this would be cool for a base, or that would be cool for a base, or that right down here. That looks really neat. But you can't. And then I wanted to set it up there. I think that was the one I found. But that was the one I found first, in fairness, but I hadn't realised you could actually go in and delete things, because you can actually delete now if we go into the buy menu and we go down here, not you, down into you go into construction, and then you can just click on this. It's like the default building, and you can just sell it if you wanted to, or you can rename it Farm Garage. So hang on, can this be... oh, we can't rename that. Boo. But we can rename this. So the Farm Garage will be Bobby code check. Don't know. He's a cunt. Oh no! No. Sorry, no. He is a... oh, it even... you absolute swine. Oh, it even does it there. That's not fair. I'm allowed to swear in my own game. Damn it, I'm an adult. I can swear. Bobby Kotick is a cunt. That is that barn. This barn will be... yeah, Activision. Yeah, that's fine. Don't even bother spelling it right. Fuck them. Can we rename... oh, we can rename the bins over there. You can't be renamed. Can we rename that tree? No. You can do all sorts of things. You can even rename the house. There are these weird things. What is this? What is this, people? Tell me what this is. I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. But anyway, yes, we are ready now for harvesting tomorrow. I don't think there's much else we can do now. My plan really is to just leave this fallow. It's just too small. That's what she said. I will just use it for something else later on. Also, that's technically not the Massey I was going for, but hey-ho, they've got the new Masseys in town, which is neat. And also, just the only thing I do know is this seems to be moving a lot slower now than it used to do before. That can only be a positive thing, because it might make bale handling a bit easier. But yeah, we'll park up right over here and we can give a quick test. Let's turn off the engines. Don't want to burn that bloody diesel with the prices these days. Christ alive. Also, we've got American flag. Where's my Trump flag? Damn it, it needs to be right over there. When do you want to wake up? Well, when September ends. Hey yo. I mean, that actually works like in multiple ways. Oh, it's raining. No, don't go breaking my heart. We don't need no rain. Oh, it's raining, isn't it? It is raining. So we are ready now to harvest one field, but of course the weather is not playing our game here. We need to wait for it to dry out. Also, this down here, this thing, whatever that's called in English, is there. Where is the turn on light? Yes, that is pretty much what we want to be doing there. See, neat. Is this not neat? You can like walk around down here, and then there's like a footstool that you can sit on, and then baler. And then you get stuck down here because it's kind of impossible to move around down here. I'm stuck now. I am stuck. I can confirm. Let's just go out here. Window wipers. Yes. And they're working. We can honk. We can put on our beacons. But right now, we need to wait because it's bloody raining, isn't it? And there's not a bloody lot we can do when it's raining. Actually, what we can do... very quickly, actually, we can show off here the wardrobe so you can change how you look. Down here, you can be a bloke, you can be a bloke of different colours and a woman of different colours. And, yeah, boom, boom, boom. Hang on, no, that's not how I want to look. No, that's definitely a better look, isn't it? And then we just take off that hat because no, that doesn't work for me at all. And then gloves are off. And yeah, that's fine. That is me. I am a sexy beast. What else can we do? But we're not doing that. Farmland, that's just this yet. So we can buy some land and we can prepare to do some... Oh, that's a big plot of land, isn't it? That's actually a bit too big. So we might want to go scouting for... And that's that one up there, yeah, and that's going to be really valuable as well. And then that there. Ooh, but that's got fields in it as well. We might want to go hunting for some good forestry land now that it is raining. Right here also, let's just make sure. Nobody here is parked with their lights on. That's good. We're not draining the battery. So we need to jump in here. Well, actually, what we can do, first of all... is not open that, open here, go down and see. Later on today it will clear up, so that's okay. In fact, I think it's stopped raining now. Or not. Oh no, it hasn't. So we just do 3-point turn. Is that range correct on the dashboard down there? I'm not so sure it is. Indicating to our left, and away we go. Come on, pull away. Go through those gears, because we now have proper gearboxes. We're up to 60 miles an hour. I mean, it still handles a bit odd with a controller, but you can't really expect anything else other than that, can you? So let's just put our high beams on. The first plot of land we want to go to, well, it's pretty much just, well, pretty much to our right, isn't it? So let's park up over here. Screech! We go up here and we look into land. Yeah, that's pretty much all of that though. And that's like more than 1 million. And that's a bit much really. I mean, we're getting pretty much all of the forestry into that area. Like, is there even a bit more forestry that we can do down there in that part of the map? Might be worth having a bit of a pop down there and have a bit of a look-see and see what we can do. This has a proper horn. It doesn't have the that the lower one does. Oh, I went too far. Happens. Went too far to the west. Or left. In this case. Wait, hello. Avoid you. So we go... So we go down here. Down this very American road. We can all see that all American roads are just like this one. Absolutely bang on jump here. Ooh, avoid that. Ooh, bridge. Launch me into the strats. What? Okay. That didn't go quite as I expected. I will admit, I was not expecting to be cartwheeling off the bridge. But in fairness, I was probably going a bit quick there, weren't I? I mean... There are trees there, but I doubt there's... I mean, they're not good for that anyway. We'll need to chop them up, so no. Let's see if we can launch ourselves off the bridge thing again. Although we can just follow... Oh, hello. Yeah, follow this road here. Do we actually have... Yeah, we've got high beams on. That's important. Obviously, we are much safer with the high beams on here. We can unfold the car. Is that something I want to do? Oh, no, it's just the rear thing down there that we can open and close. That's fair dues. And what are we doing? Yeah, we're going over here. And we're just riding around, and we can go up here. Like, that just feels when you're going that fast like it's some sort of weird old thing of physics. Hang on, we need to... Just noticed that this needs to be brought up a little bit more. Just so we're getting... Oh, no. That now looks wrong. It should be about here. I think that might be good. Down there we go. Yeah, that's better. That is better. So let's have a look-see. Admittedly, it's quite hard to have a look-see around when it's dark and it's raining. So we'll park in somebody's driveway. Let's run up here and see what's going on inside the house. Oh, what are you having for breakfast? Lovely. Oh, having a cheeky wank. Oh dear. Anyway, let's not do that. Does it have a name listed on it? Nobody has a blue sign out there. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Pick up an object. Oh dear, I've done vandalism. The police are going to find me. Go. Wasn't me. Just be like Shaggy. Hang on. Does that mean I can do that to every... Oh, that's a solid one. That's one of them. Oh, wrong button. We need to try now and... There we go. Whee, wanker. It's just like old My Summer Car all over again, isn't it? You wanker. You just do some pointless criminal damage for no reason other than you can. Like, why is there a blue sign out in front of each one of these houses? What's the deal with that? Anyway, we'll crack on here. Anybody else here that we can smash the letterbox of? Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'm now wanking the letterbox here. So boom. There you go. Wank. And the next one. Wanker. Come on, break. Yeah, come on. Come on. We're going to pop any moment. It's going to pop. I know it. I can feel it. We're getting close. Come on. No. Okay. There we go. Took a bit of a long one there. And another one, please. They're going to be wondering what happened to their letterboxes. Yes, suck on that. Oh, we've got a little pathway here so we can run down here. Is there anybody else on here who can smash up or anything like that? Okay, no, it's just a pathway leading down. That's no good, is it? Where is this? Me vehicle. This isn't really what I was hoping for. There's too many bloody houses. We might need to be looking slightly further up there. It does look like the only place we can do any decent forestry is down on that massive plot of land. So why are there like blue plaques outside every property? That seems very weird. It's blue plaques that doesn't say anything on top of that. So what's the deal there? Are they all making some sort of political statement going towards... Wait, hang on. In America, that's the opposite way, isn't it? Like in America, blues the left and the reds are the right. Which is really confusing for anybody else because it's the other way around in the rest of the world. Like the communist famously was red and they were... Well, in fairness, they were so far left they became right again. They kind of meet at some point. It's like minus plus minus equals plus, or minus equals plus. Oh, there's the saying there, numbers, isn't it? Anyway, we'll do... Yep, that's certainly exactly physics as I know and love it. Exactly as physics should be. Stop. Just reverse ourselves on to here. Put this park here. Yep, that's fine. Switch you off and leave you here. And we got some tools. Yep. Oh, yeah, what we can do now. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we can service the engine. There you go. Filled it up with oil. What even is that? It's no good. We've got hammers and nails, and in here we've got what? We've got more oil so you can paint stuff. Got a generator. We've got a drill thing, like for fixing things. That's neat. We've got a circular saw. We've got a chainsaw that doesn't work. And what else do we have in here? Oh, we've got a thing. And what's that? Looks like some sort of compressor, air compressor. We've got 2 chainsaws. My, oh my, we can do some actual chainsawing here. Which somebody was doing, like, nearby to where I live all day yesterday, which was so nice. There's nothing I like more on a Sunday than having somebody chainsaw and chainsaw and chainsaw. Also, why is there a creepy horror game light right here by this? Oh, okay, that's not what we want. Pick up, please, pick. You weren't really throwing that as much as you were just kind of giving up the will to live there. But anyway. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons here, aren't I? Where is... there it is. Let's speed up time, shall we? Uh-oh, press the thing now. That interferes with track... there you go, that interferes with track IR. Oh, look at that. That's quite nice, isn't it? I mean, it looks good now, but if we go down here... admittedly, that does look pretty bloody gorgeous as well. Wow, look at that. That's nice. But yeah, there isn't really a lot of farming to be done when it's raining because we're just going to sink in. But look at that. We're starting to see blue sky appearing behind the clouds. I will say one of the slight issues still is the skybox, which looks to be from about 2007. But, you know, we can't ask for it all. Those clouds are clearly a lot nicer. I mean, it's not Microsoft Flight Simulator levels of nice clouds, but certainly they're not bad at all. I mean, I'm sort of the kind of person that would love to get into Flight Simulator, really. The issue is I'm more of a helicopter guy. That really is the cornerstones of that. Helicopters, to me, are cooler than airplanes. And hang on, let me just very quickly check in and see that it's just... why is this running? Has it changed settings on me? Because I've just noticed something down here. The output from the video is currently showing on the stream to be much lower than it should be. So I just need to very quickly verify that we actually have got a decent resolution going here before we carry on, because my output should be right up there. So let me just verify here very quickly by... not you. I mean, the issue is, of course... I mean, maybe it's just a preview. Can we please just... I need to go and find my own stream, but I'm doing that on my computer, which is dangerous to say the least. But I will have to do that very quickly. And now the browser is very slow because it's also having to do the live streaming stuff opened. And yes, please, for the love of the maker, hurry up here, YouTube. YouTube Creator Studio. I've lost the will to live. I feel like I'm slowly... just go to my channel, damn it. I just need to see if it's working. Don't just... YouTube as a platform is fucking shit, if you haven't noticed. It's awful. It's atrocious. But let's open up here and see. An error has occurred. Please return later. Suck a fat one. I don't care what you say. You are now loading, and there might be some weird sounds. Yep, there we go. Called it. Nope, it's fine. It's available in all the resolutions it should be. It's just being a dick because it can be. Great. So let's get and now you are hiding that, and you can't be hiding that. You can be hiding that, but you can't be hiding that. And so there we go. We shall now wait for it to dry out. Oh, we can fire up the combine. It does not say that anything is wet. So let's just try and see if we can't attach you here. We need to start harvesting. You forwards and rikvarts. Which of course is very wrong to say because we are in America, not Germany. It definitely feels like it's a better one, although I haven't really had a look at the French map. Which, I mean, again, oh, sorry about that. We've hit our fellow CNH buddy there. So just go around. We can probably just unfold it for now. Don't need to do that at the field. Because the field that we need to harvest is the one down here. It's the one with the sunflowers. Oh, yes it is. Right next to the ploughed field. Although our maize is not ready to be harvested just quite yet. So we just need to swap this out. And all of this will be probably merged into one field. No, this there will be merged into a field. One of the issues is accessing over there if we merge it all together. So we might not be able to stop. Back, please. We need to get this lined up nice and good now, please. Now, this was just the first harvester I bought, so I can't comment on it, but do the other harvesters have better interiors, more informative interiors than this? Because obviously it's suffering a bit from being, having been in the game for, God, since the Titanium edition, many moons ago. Because that was the first edition I bought of it with Farming Simulator 2013. But yeah, let's get stuck in here with a header that I have not used much at all. Well, that was actually lowered. Okay, so that's obviously not very lowered then. But yeah, we'll just get in here and harvest. And just again, admire how beautiful it is with seasons. The new lighting is nice. Oh, very good. All of a sudden I had to remember that I've got the collector's edition, so I've got that flashing light that I said I haven't bothered disconnecting yet. I mean, it's neat. I'm not sure exactly what it does in terms of functionality. Like, one of my issues is it sort of, when it's on rotator mode, because it's quite nice. It's got two settings. It's got this rotator, and if I'm in one of the ones that has LED flashes, it'll just flash entirely. But like this, you could sort of be forgiven if you looked up through a window, if I haven't closed the blinds, and think that there's a fire. Because it kind of got that pulsating orange light. So I'm obviously going to be a bit cautious about that, because I don't want somebody, as sometimes happens, you know, thinking, oh my, there's a fire up there, I should call the fire brigade. And then they turn up, and then I'm like, no, I'm just farming on my computer. Into the fire people. Don't want to be doing that. So I'm going to be careful about how I use that, because ooh, be unfortunate. But yeah, first, I think that might be the first time ever I'm harvesting sunflower seeds. I mean, certainly I think the last time I used a maize header to actually harvest maize rather than turn it into chav must have been Farming Simulator 13. So that's neat. Bit of a nice experience again to try this out. What else do we have in the field surrounding us? We do own the one down here, but that's got cotton on it. And that road down here, that road can, in fairness, just disappear. And yeah, that's what we can do. But yeah, I reckon, rather annoyingly, we need to keep that boom. So we could probably just do boom, boom, and then do this one over here as well, so we can cut that field off there. That might be a decent plan here. I will give them that though. Those stickers there, they do look very nice. Like, all in all, it's a really good looking game now in terms of lighting, in terms of model quality. Like you've got that thing rotating there, which I don't know what is. It looks like one of those ship radars that you sometimes see near the water. Or, you know, like near the sea. Or on boats as well, that just rotate, you know, slowly and just scans for other ships in the area. And does like ship things, I would imagine. Don't know really what it does, but something certainly it does. But yeah, that is cotton in it. That's cotton IG. Yeah, he's cotton, so we can just absolutely muller that and just be happy with that, because it's just not worth even leasing equipment. I think the income from that, certainly from my small potato field. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, definitely just wasn't there to justify buying that. Or to doing that, because I leased it for about $10,000 and I got about $5,000 in return. Now even I, with my minimum knowledge of maths, would tell me that's a lot of 5,000. And so that's not really worth doing, so we shall leave that. And we can put that on down here. Sounds really good in this game now. It's really nice. I was driving this earlier, and then as I was going along, I couldn't figure out, why is there a tractor idling nearby? Surely I turned it off. I shouldn't be able to hear it certainly until I realised, oh no, that's just the muted sound of this engine down here at the back. It sounds nice. It's really good. Oh, look at that. Is that sunflower seeds? Oh, that is sunflower seeds. That is correct. That is sunflower seeds back there. They broadly look like sunflower seeds that I have bought when I used to do sandwich bread. And then I decided to, when I had a bit of a bad stomach a few months ago, decided to force myself to eat one before bed, and then I couldn't eat it again. For some reason, forcing yourself to eat something is a good way of putting you off it. Who knew? But anyway, yeah, let's just see. Can we not lower the header at all in this? I don't think so. No, we're just stuck with having the header there as the height. Maybe that's the height it is at. Correctly so. But yeah, you start off in August. Let's just open up here, go down and see. Yeah, you start off right here on August the 1st, which is just about time for harvest. So you need to get pretty much on that right out the gates. So you don't have a lot of time to plan for it. But that's, I suppose, it's a lot better than previously where you'd start off in spring. It was seasons anyway. Oh, we got a yawn here. Oh, we have a yawn. We have a yawn alert. Yawn alert. Yawn alert. But yeah, that is perhaps better in terms of a gameplay point of view of introducing players to seasons and playing with them. Because it can be a bit weird jumping in there because you need to plant and all of that. Here it's into harvesting straight away. And so you get that direct flow into gameplay a bit easier because there's a good starting point. There's a direct concrete course of action that you need to take. You have fields, they need harvesting, do that. And then you kind of like, I've harvested those fields, we now need to put something back onto them. Yes, we do. Is it too late in the year? Well, yes, you'll have to wait. Or no, you can plant these seeds now, so they will be ready to harvest earlier the next year. One thing that I haven't worked out, and I probably should, is if we need to have the earth detector thing that we had before. See, oh, that's a tall. Gee whiz, that's so big. That is so big. Yeah, definitely. We're going to Australia, aren't we? Definitely. I mean, they need to hugely increase the map scale in order to suit that, because this feels like quite small for even the American equipment sizes. And again, if that's like one of those auger wagons I have down in Oz. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Like, I've started my, I've ended up in a very weird situation that I think I talked about last week. Fortunate, I'm very, very fortunate really to be in this position, but I have 5 weeks of vacation that I need to spend before the end of the year. And as you may have noticed, there are 6 weeks left in the year. So I've only got 1 week of work in December. left in the year. I have to. I mean, otherwise it would just go to waste. My employee technically could offer to pay it out to me, but they've decided that I should take the time off. I'm not gonna complain. I feel like that's incredibly privileged, really, to be in a position where my employee says, no, you have to take time off work now. Oh yes, and it is fully paid again. This time though, it's technically paid by me, or well, by them, but it's vacation time that you accrue normally. Because there's been a lot of things, and if you're in the EU, you know about how weird vacation has been now, because we've gone over to a EU model and ours were different, and oh, it's very weird. Because I've got a letter, an electronic letter, in my e-box. Because we can't do that via email because that's not safe enough, so it's very weird. We've got an e-box. I've got a letter saying you've got you've got vacation you need to spend by the end of the year. Please be mindful of that. And I opened up and it was 25 days. I was like, oh, well that's actually a problem because there's not a lot left in the year. So I've got 3 weeks off now. It's great. First ever my vacation. Farming Simulator 22's out. Excellent. Literally just excellent. Been playing this most of the day. It's wonderful. Great. Wonderful. Great. Yeah, I mean yesterday. Went for a good old run yesterday and it was good. Like it really felt good. It was very cold so I wasn't expecting much, but I knocked a minute pretty much bang off my time from Thursday. Which surprised me a bit, as I started out pretty hard and then I could sort of feel my legs being pretty thrashed about 2/3 of the way through, so I wasn't sure I'd be able to keep the pace up. But evidently I was able to do so. So yeah, it was down to 23 minutes and I think it was like 5 seconds or something like that for 5k. A hilly-ish 5k. Now, the best way to describe it is, if I tell people who live in the area, oh yeah, I'll run 5k in this route and I do it in 26 minutes, they're like, that's good. That's pretty good actually, because it's quite hilly. Like there's very little that's actually flat. It's either uphill or downhill. Obviously on the downhill bit you do recover a bit, but then immediately again you're hit by running uphill. So yeah, it's good. It was bloody cold though. I bought a third layer, I bought a mid layer. And a head torch. See, I was against getting a head torch until it started getting pretty dark out. Because, you know, I didn't want to be the wanker with a head torch out running. Like, we've all met them, you know, when it's dark here in the winter months and you're out for a walk or you're going somewhere and some cunt comes running at you with a head torch on. You don't want to be that cunt, do you? Well, now I am, because I bought it and then I was like, I don't want to be that cunt. And I went for a run without my head torch on when it was dark and I couldn't see anything and I was a lot slower, and then I was like, oh maybe I do want to be that head torch cunt, because let me tell you, I'm not a dog person. I've not grown up with dogs and I'm scared of them because I don't understand them and like they can bite me and shit, and I'm not a fan of that. But when it's dark and you're running in a place where there's no street lights, again, I'm a man, so it's not that scary anyway. You know, if I was not a man, it might be even scarier. But just being out there running and hearing dogs and, you know, all sorts of noises, just the wind in the trees, oh, it does make you go, no thank you, actually, this isn't nice. So after that, head torch on, and it just feels nice. Like, even just that, again, I started off on Tuesday, I did a run on 28 minutes. Then I did one on 27 minutes, and then at 26 minutes. So in theory, the one I do tomorrow should be 25 minutes. If that improvement goes on. That won't happen though, because I had pizza for dinner today. Because that is, I mean, vacation starting out, you know, 3 weeks off work. Farming Simulator is out. I'm going to treat myself, you know. I'm going to have a press the Windows key. Don't do that. Pro tip there. Don't press Windows key. Windows key banned when you play games. What we need to do now is grab... oh, we don't really need you. You're a bit big, aren't you, for this? Let's grab you. No, let's not grab you. Let's grab the new. Do we not have the new? Oh, yeah, it's parked down here. with that header on it. So we'll grab the MF7726S. We will grab our field trailer. Again, we don't have a proper US trailer. I mean, I don't even know what a proper US trailer would look like. And that's perhaps one of those areas where hopefully it would be nice to just see a bit more localized equipment coming in for these places. But I, can accept that things aren't as straightforward as that. Now, there is an interesting option here in the menu once it's saved. If we go down to... That's a noise, I'm not sure what it does, but there's a thing called... Where is it? Trailer fill limit. Which says trailers can only be filled until the max allowed weight is reached. That is off. I don't know specifically what that does. It sounds interesting. It sounds like if you set it the right way around, it would actually be correct and you'll be able to overfill your trailer. Which I'm really excited about because, no farmer just fills it to the capacity it says on it. They always overfill massively. But let's just bring you right up here. Forwards a bit, forwards a bit, forwards a bit. We might want to change the, because we can't adjust the, switch over here and then, there we go. See, that's it right there. There we go. Just unload into it. Oh dear, that's just our issue here. We need to just get you into reverse and reverse off the road. Technically, yes, there we go. That's just looking good. Unloading into you. You select the header and ready to move forwards. Are we not obstructing the roadway? Forwards we go. Yeah, they've definitely changed if we read through here how the yield is calculated. So we can spread fertilizer twice for 23%. So that's 46%. And then if we spread lime every 3 harvests, that's another 15. And then we can use a mulcher on stubble. And to avoid a 30-second yield malice, is that a weird germanification? You have to remove weeds and use a plow after root crops such as corn, potatoes, sugar beets, and sugar cane, otherwise minus 15%. See, that's a really interesting way of going about it, rather than just, oh yeah, you need to do periodic ploughing. No, you need to do it after you've harvested or you've used a specific type of crop. I don't know if that's realistic or not, because I'm not hashtag a real farmer here. But certainly, I don't want to fold, I want to just reverse, thank you. But from a gameplay perspective, that's really neat. Because it forces you to make that decision between what you go for. Do you go down this route here of harvesting or running with the high yield crops such as maize, but you will have to plough after each time? Or do you go the other way of doing it once every cycle? Like you could theoretically, and what I thought about earlier when I was doing NM2, setting it up so you would have a cycle of a grain, like a wheat or barley, or there's oats as well, isn't there now? Oats, yeah, oats. And, well, what are the actual crops here? We can just quickly see here, can't we? Yeah, wheat, barley, oat. I don't know about soybeans, actually, or sorghum. But certainly some of those crops, you would be able to have those in on one, and then you could move over to year 2. You would have on canola or soybean or something of that nature. And then the 3rd year, you would have a root crop or sunflower and maize, or maize. And then you would have pretty much just achieved all of that. And you would also have done some actual crop rotation, which is bloody neat, isn't it? Let's see, we're cracking it. I mean, just again, look at that. I mean, admittedly, there's some artifacts going on over there on these trees. Like, I'm running this on the custom very high setting. So yeah, but it does look a bit weird on those trees. But again, its initial release will inevitably be some bugs. Also, there are deer, not John Deere, actual deer. Like I've seen them. They've run out in front of me earlier, and it's bloody neat. And yeah, again, just look at that massive. Just look at that. It's huge. It's huge. I tell you, it's huge. It's huge. Bloody huge. I'll just nip you around and sort you out. Also, JCB's in here, but I'm not sure we can accurately simulate knocking down settlements over on... No, wait, no, was it knocking down or was it constructing illegal settlements on the West Bank that they were fined for not adequately doing due diligence on when they took machinery to Israel? Yes, that's a whoopsie. So not only were they Brexit supporting, they were also providing the Israeli government with equipment that they could either build or knock down properties illegally, which is a problem, one might say. But, you know, one might lead to the other. Hi-ho, hi-ho. I mean, that would also be a neat place to set it up. One of those things, though, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but just in terms of the placeables, there isn't really anything that screams America to me. That's just a bit annoying because I don't want it to look like a Europe over here. But again, just models in terms of what they can do with maps and what they can do with placeables will probably change that fairly quickly. Just generally overall, I mean, quite frankly, 1 to 2 games ago, you would not have believed this to have been a default map with the level of detail that there is. And fair play, they've done a pretty bloody good job. Like, the only criticisms I really have is just a difference in philosophy and mentality in terms of game design, what I think is best and what isn't. And I'm just willing to say fair cop, you know, I'm not the ones actually designing and making the game. I just know what I want. That's probably not what the majority of people want. So, fair dues, this is a solid game. Like, there was a time, even with like Farming Simulator 2013, there was an element of, yeah, back then it was good despite its flaws, if that makes sense. You know, like, it didn't feel like a particularly competent game, and it was a bit of a meme. I mean, certainly with 13 it was a bit of a meme, and then with 15 it was sort of like, okay, there's some decent foundation here actually. And then 17 came out and it was like, oh, this is actually a pretty good game now, we can't really make fun of it. Then 19 came out and was like, yeah, this is just a solid, well-made game now. There's nothing here we can take the piece out of. It's just, yep, just well-made. And then this comes along and it's like, this is legitimately a really good game. It's solid. It's got good foundations. It's built upon solid work all round. There's clearly competent people working on this in all areas of it. I mean, you just have to say fair dues. That is excellent. You can appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into making a game like this. Clearly it's made by people who care about farming first of all. And they know what they're doing in game making. Just 10 out of 10. Absolutely smashing work right there. Like, the only thing would be to go down the route of something like My Summer Car, where you have to do everything. Like, in terms of, well, we can look into it in a moment, but if you could devise pastures, manually defining them, and then having to go around and knock them up and maintain the pastures, kind of like you assemble the engine and the car in My Summer Car, you're going to have to do that with a farm. Especially now with the seasons mode in here, it would as much be, for my money anyway, it will be about trying to fill the time in the nicest possible way, but in about taking that and expanding upon the seasons and using some of the times where there perhaps isn't as much actual farming to do to give you things to do and run the farm, and to make it feel even more like it is your farm. Because previously it has been this cold and sterile and impersonal experience, whereas something like My Summer Car with the car, you really does feel like you get a bond with that car because you assemble it yourself and you've taken something and you've put it all together. But yeah, if we go down here into the construction menu, right, you can see here we are now, and then we can just select this and we can put it down, we can rotate it down here, we can put it here if we want it, we can change the colours. There's a lot of colours to choose from, but again, nothing here screams America as far as I'm concerned down here, especially not that. That's got solar panels on it. And again, this just feels very America, doesn't it? So, oh yeah. Oh, this is the one from all the way back from Holtz. Oh, what was it called? The one, Holtzhausen. That's all the way back from 15. Oh, mate. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, yeah, we'll just get cracking on here. We just need to get on with harvesting. And what we do, yeah, we've got that field over here of soybean that we need to harvest. Everything is a bit weird down here. Let's just check real quick once we've parked up here and just turn it off. Actually, just let it calm down and just go in here. Yeah, needs ploughing. Yep. Everything bloody needs ploughing. You'll need to be ploughed as well because you've got corn growing on you. How far into the growth stage are you? You are currently growing. Your fertilizer 100%. There is 100% of weed on it. No idea if it's too late. Actually, we can give that a bash, can't we? With that's with you. So let's just detach you. So can you please just? Okay. So now it's got engine on, right? There we go. Forwards, please. Gracias, muchas gracias. Also, why is it? It definitely feels like the game is really quiet down here. Let's just see if it, for some reason, not here, down here. Nope, everything's on 100. Environment, yep, that's fine. So, yeah, okay, let's just go ahead and have a listen. Like you can hear how it goes through the revs now, much more different than it used to. It's nice, really good. Oh dear, that wasn't the best display of the physics engine, I will admit, but sometimes that may happen. We need to quickly swap out the tyres on this, well the wheels technically. We need to, whoops, hit the barn. Yeah, it's a barnstorm alright. Did. Anyway, we'll pop you here, jump out, run in front. That's no dramas whatsoever. We'll customise it. Narrow tyres. Of course, we're running on Michelin. And, I mean, it feels like it's sort of the wrong model size just with all that glass out here, but maybe it is. I actually think might be one in my area that's got one of those. No, they had a demo because it said demo on the side of it. That's right, because one day at work I was looking outside and I saw a new Massey and I was like, ooh, that's a new Massey, because I'm really boring now. Because through like this and truck simulators and all of that, I just have a knowledge of these machinery and I see it and I'm like, ooh, that's exciting, that's a new one. And then I get excited about like going running in that and I'm just a boring old fart now, ain't I? But listen to that sound in there. Oh, it's just so good. They've really done a good job. Like legit, just a really solid, excellent job down here. Solid game dev. Solid game deving. Yeah, game deving, that's right. That's exactly the words that we use. Let's just quickly sort this out. Also, can we just take a moment down here to appreciate... Oh, they've got them running LEDs. Oh, yes. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. That's so neat. Oh, oh, yes. That's all so cool on real cars. Like, just so cool real cars, and no game I've noticed really has ever done that properly. And this has, and it's just, it feels good. Oh, it feels good. Like, it's slightly weird though that they just have old school rotator beacons when where's the John Deere? Here is the John Deere. When this has a I'm about to have a bright fucking flashing yellow thing in my room right now. But yeah, it's that's one of the few things that might need a bit of tweaking is the LOD on these flashes, because clearly they're nowhere near as good as they should be. But yeah, this does have LED flashes on the roof. And the collector's edition beacon is now just flashing solid. That caught me out the first time because I tried it out with one of the rotator ones and it rotated. And I was like, okay, yeah, that has a neat rotating effect on it, and it really does. And then I got into these, and then it all started flashing completely, and I was like, oh, they've actually gone to town on making that very cheap looking and feeling thing is actually really well made. Oh dear, I am sorry. I do apologise for this there in your SUV. I do apologise. So let's just see it here, and there is no. Yeah, see again, you can change your width. Don't know how, but you can. I must admit I haven't looked into that just yet. Can we just confirm, just for now, just having run that far? If we go in here, go up here with you, and we then go over to not growth, but down here to you. Yes, that is now eliminating the weeds growing in this field. So we need to definitely spray this field with herbicide, and then we can return over. How do... Nope. Carry on. Partial width. What is the option for changing the width down there? Because it feels like it's something I should be doing, and changing like spray rate, it also appears to be something that I could do. Or so did it just beep at me? So yeah, we're just spraying here, and we'll just have to pray to the maker that it's okay. Like, when do Americans actually harvest corn in the real world? Because obviously I don't live in a climate where they can harvest corn. We're spraying 192 litres a minute. Is that a lot? I feel like this game now makes me require to have actual farming knowledge, which I don't have, which is a very weird place to be in with Farming Simulator. But that's where we are. Actually, right now, it's making me think about things that a real farmer would think about, and I don't know. I mean, just look at that. Just beautiful. It is so beautiful. Skybox, again, not the prettiest. Not the prettiest. But, you know, yeah. Although that clearly isn't the skybox right there. There were certainly times where the moon looked like something out of 2007 in my game earlier on. We'll just get cracking on it. We can not really do that. I mean, the UI has been given a gentle overhaul. It's probably fair to say it's not a huge change, but it's a change nonetheless. And as you would expect, really. The neat thing is that you've gone the way of Seasons mod and separated machine wear from its looks and all of that. So you can repair it and respray it separately. That's nice. We'll just snip out here, just turn you off. Stop. Stop. Uh-oh, this is bad. This is bad. We're about to trap ourselves an axial flow. We haven't trapped ourselves an axial flow. No, stop. This might have been one of my first combine harvesters I've just remembered back in Farming Simulator 13. Because that was part of the expansion there as well with Case. So, yeah. It's a bit of long in the tooth now, isn't it? Sadly, no water particle effects when you go through it. But hey-ho. Can't really get much more of that. Park it by the traditional American barn. What else do we need? We need to be harvesting. We need to be harvesting. That's what we need to be doing. Moreover, we need to be... You've got your engine on. We need to empty you out. First of all, just get you out here again. The CVT. For once, it's actually in a bloody tractor and not in a road vehicle. Christ alive. Or in a road car. Who thought that was a good idea? Get those bloody CVTs out of cars. They're rubbish and uninspiring to drive. Like, if you've tried driving a hybrid and a manual petrol engine version of the same car, which I have, you will be surprised at how much nicer it is to drive a car with a manual gearbox and a traditional internal combustion engine. If you like driving, it's just a much nicer experience. Certainly on back roads, there's an argument that city driving is significantly nicer in a CVT, because you don't have to do the clutch the whole time, but that's more of me being European and thus having manual gearboxes and everything rather than American and having autos everywhere. Hey ho. We'll quickly just put you over here because that's where you will be needed in a bit. Stop right here. Disconnect you. Yeah, we need to go and harvest. It's this field over here. Yes, rah rah rah. I'm a crow. I'm a raven. Are they not the same thing? Pretty sure they are. They are in my mind anyway. Also, there are different types of cultivators and things, and I don't quite understand what they are, but I've used one on a field and it looked good. I also... Oh no, that doesn't look good. That looked like I'm about to tip it into the little... There we go. Also, nice to see it doesn't automatically lower the... What on earth is... What's this? Oh, admittedly, it does look slightly taller when you're out of it. But yeah... Yeah, I've kind of missed a trick here, haven't I, in terms of not having fertilised it whilst it was growing, because I think it's too late to do now that it's fully grown. Also, I've just lost the slipper. Where's my slipper gone? My slipper's there. See, I've realised that I need to have a footstool when I sit at my desk, because my chair's too high up. Just not nice. So I put some soft drinks down here, a case of soft drinks, and using them now as a footstool until I get my bloody act together and get a proper one. So let's see down here, right header type, that's always a positive. One thing I did notice when I harvested the potatoes up at field 45? 45! Was that it only really registers how much you've harvested once it's in the hopper thing. And with a potato harvester, it takes a few seconds for it to get up there. So I thought, first of all, I wasn't harvesting until I saw that it was moving on the conveyors, and it only started counting its capacity once it was in the actual thing, which is neat. You know, it's counting what's stored, not what it's got in it total. That's nice. I like that. Very nice. So, the plan, let's just swap out of this view here, please, for me. Yeah, plan is to merge these two together. Merge these three together, actually. That's the plan. And then, yeah, these three as well together. These two can go together. These two are probably going to be built on at some point or another. Eventually, I'm going to buy that one. These two are going to get merged together. That's a plan anyway. At that point, the fuels will be of a size that actually feels slightly American. Because again, to my mind, American fuels are huge. And they are perfectly rectangular. Because, you know, America, they've got that grid system worked out. And it is just all square fields and that. I mean, I will say, playing this now and going into the American, though, does make me kind of want to play an American map once such things comes out for this game. Which you can't say I've felt really that much before. But it's nice, this, with the new equipment where you can actually customize certain vehicles to have American configuration to European. It's neat. It's neat. I've just done a really bang-up job. Like, I can't be negative about this game because it's really good. It's competent and it's quality. There's thought gone into everything here. It's just really well made. Like, there's no ounce of a joke left in this at all. It's just very well made. And well done, Giants Software. You've done a really, really good job. Even that bloody beacon they put in there says it's Swiss made. Like, that should just be Chinese made. Every other place would go on some weird Chinese thing that broke after 2 days or something like that. But no, this it's just really well made, and they thought it out, and yeah, you can't hate on that. Giles has just done an excellent job. And it's nice and it's good. And I just, again, I can't see on it. I haven't had a drink since I started streaming, so once we turn around, I'll refill my glass and have a drink. Because I should drink. Because otherwise my throat's going to be bloody sore, and it's really cold out, and I don't want to have a sore throat. Because then I might feel like I've got COVID, and I don't want to have that, even feel like I do. So turn you around here, just get out of that tree, there we go. And go down here, point it in this way, and we can refill my glass of water. There we go, wasn't even taking a piss, just a glass of water. Right, now we can see, well hopefully if we get out here, no, it just needs lime, that's a positive, unless it doesn't show that it needs ploughing until we've given it lime. That would be a bit cheeky of it, however, so I am hoping that isn't the case, because previously it has shown both of those at the same time. But we'll just have to wait and see. Hashtag. That's a rail line running over there. You can rent the train if you so desire. I don't. Then there's where we can buy lime and shit. And there's a drop-off point or two that you can sell stuff at. And yeah, that's a fire station that you can see over there. So let's just go in here and turn you around. Harvest here and sort this out. And yeah, there's a couple of starter mods available on the Mud Hub already, as is pretty normal by now, really. They always have. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I've got the Elite controller and there's buttons on the back, and I accidentally press them sometimes. But yeah, there are some additional mods. That's where I've got the New Holland wheel loader. They've added that in. Otherwise, it's just class wheel loaders, isn't it? Down here, if we see. Yeah, it's just these three class in by default, and then there's that down here. Whoops, I've also got the down. Oh no, that's not. That's a versatile. Where is? Yeah, it's the Röstelmash. It's a great name. Just rolls right off the tongue. The Röstelmash. Well, I might not have it activated actually, but I've got the class saddle track, Stereon saddle track thing. That was in the game, but it doesn't seem right. I think Class might have started making an appearance in the US, but I don't think it might have made it big over there. Also, there are no like US based fertilizer spreaders. It's just Amazon and Bredale, and you know that. Don't think that Danish company and wherever Amazon is based out of, presumably Germany, is particularly close to having a market. I mean, this is just instructions. Yes. Does it not have any kind of chassis VIN type thing on it? Warning, danger, danger, danger. Headland, yes. It does say that in a lot of different languages, and I think. So it does say canned spotting, which probably would be Danish. And then, yes, spotting i marken, infield spreading in underdeploying Champ, streuen auf dem Acker, spraying på fältet, which I think is Swedish. Why would you bloody put it on there? They don't deserve to know that. You can learn a proper language, damn it. Don't cater to them. Don't cater to the simpletons. Anyway, we'll crack on. No, wrong vehicle. There we go. Forward. Harvest these. These are beans, right? These are beans. These are beans. These are beans. These are... Are they beans? Yes, they are. That means we have another field that needs to be harvested, right? Oh, no, that one's not ready to grow yet. So that's going to come down right to the wire. I mean, we're going to need some exciting music once we get towards the end of October. Here, because we might be running out of time to harvest in. I mean, yeah, we got this. What will we have to harvest next month? Presumably, we will need to harvest field 42, field 39. I mean, we need to also seed these fields. That's been seeded, and we need to merge these 3 together. But we need that one to be harvested. You need to be ploughed. You need to be probably ploughed as well. So yeah, there's a lot to do before winter. But we might not even want to do corn or maize or anything this time around. But we can't. Oh, I've pressed the Windows key again. Right, stop. It's gone rogue. We've got a rogue tractor. Call Christian Horner. I've got a rogue combine harvester in my field. Is there a man as insufferable and as toxic to anything as Christian Horner? Well, other than maybe Donald Trump. But yeah, at least he's been officially warned now for his absolute out of order comments. The peak of which was accusing, or rather blaming, and I'm quoting, a rogue marshal for the penalty at Verstappen, which, you know, maybe take some fucking responsibility here and say that, yeah, alright, our guy got it wrong there. He should have slowed down. That's a mistake. We'll perhaps not have to do that again. And I thought there was a shocking amount of common sense coming from the stewards, although were they not Tim Mayer, Gary Connolly, and it's that Audi bloke, Emmanuel Piro. That's right, they were the 3 FIA representatives. So that's presumably why it wasn't. Well, certainly it was Viantino Liuzzi, the previous weekend in Lagers, who presumably has forgotten what racing is and what it means to actually intend to make a corner or not. Although technically that was mostly, yeah. Yeah. See, I'm a fan of motorsport, and Formula 1 is now getting very close to not being a sport. First of all, we've started going to some proper shitholes that shouldn't have any kind of motorsport events in the world. I mean, if you look at Qatar, you look at Saudi Arabia this coming weekend, you go even back to some of the first ones that were added in, like Bahrain, you've got the UAE with the season finale. All of those countries, I mean, they're whitewashing their reputation through sport. We see that elsewhere, like in professional cycling. You've got Bahrain, you've got the UAE, you've got Israel in there as well with supporting teams, and well, not just supporting but being named sponsors of teams. And those nations should not have a Grand Prix. The ones that we're running out here towards the tail end, we should not be giving Grand Prix to those places. So doing that, just allowing, just if we go through the season, allowing Christian Horner to just, and Helmut Marko to just spew utter shit. They are the muck spreaders of Formula 1. And having that go completely unchecked and uncontrolled by the FIA, after making comments at Silverstone even regarding Hamilton, that it was intentional and whatnot down here, and going out there and accusing him of this and that, which has resulted in death threats and whatnot being sent to, what's his face? I want to say Lance David Arnold, but that's not right. It's Lewis Hamilton. How did I get Lance David Arnold in my head? He's a GT driver. Why did that? I don't know why I thought of Lance David Arnold. Anyway, just out of order, their behaviour. He's made comments targeting Yuki Tsunoda, who also got lots of hate and death threats on social media, after literally trying to do the right thing and getting out of the way, which Perez and Miz interpreted and went off in sympathy, which is frankly surprising that Mateschitz didn't grab those two idiots and told them, listen, it's one thing you go after drivers elsewhere, But when you start talking shit about our own drivers, you're going to have to change your tune here. Otherwise, you're going to be finding a new place to work, because I can't have my employees, or rather my leaders, being disloyal to my employees. But no, that doesn't seem to be a thing. Then, as I mentioned, at the Stoning Grand Prix in Qatar, here in the previous week, in qualifying towards the end, Verstappen improved on the double wave yellows. As they say, a penalty was given, and Horner blamed that on a road marshal, and the FIA was very quick to be like, come in here, mate, we need to have a chat here. See, Horner, that marshal is there to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to keep the competitors safe. And that marshal will stand in any place he or she or they wish to do so and wave that double waved yellow flag to keep them safe. And the drivers will just have to pay attention to where yellow flags are being waved. It is not difficult. And at any rate, if there's any confusion at any circuit, any flags waved by the marshal takes priority over any kind of FIA light panel or local mounted light panel or driver dash warning. It literally does not matter what is on display anywhere apart from what the marshal holds if there is a conflict. So if your dashboard, and as it was pointed out, as I have read the steward's decision, the International Sporting Code says that any driver must drive their car unaided, or rather alone and unaided, and that includes must be able to drive and react to incidents without relying on his or they relying on their dashboard to inform them of an incident ahead or any flags that might be relevant to it. It is expected that a racing driver is able to pay attention to flag marshals around the track and respond in accordance. Furthermore, Carlos Sainz was in the clear because whilst he had not seen a yellow flag, he had seen the stationary car of Pierre Gasly and had slowed down accordingly because he assumed there would be a yellow flag, and that is what you do. Whereas Max Verstappen, nah, fuck it, I'm going to set a faster lap. It doesn't matter somebody stopped on the inside. Doesn't matter. And that's notwithstanding what we saw at Interlagos. Because there's one thing that's abundantly clear right now, is that Hamilton backed out of that move because he knew his championship would be over. He had the fastest car that day. And I would be tempted to say that if Hamilton didn't have the fastest car at Interlagos, he would have held on to it on the outside. He would not have flinched and he would not have backed out of that move. He would have held on there and they would have come together. The only reason why we haven't had more than 2 crashes between those two is because Hamilton has backed out of moves. Once Verstappen was forcing the issue, he backed out of it. It is the only reason why. And the fact that it wasn't even investigated, that he deliberately forced him off, is inexcusable. It was a straightforward dereliction of duty from Michael Massey to have completely ignored that and said, oh yeah, we'll let them race. It was a carbon copy of Silverstone. The only reason why they didn't crash was because the car on the outside, on this occasion, backed out of it and reacted and avoided a crash. So the message here quite clearly is, A, if you're on the inside, it is perfectly okay to defend by forcing somebody off. And on the flip side, if you're on the outside and you don't have the fastest car, you can just go around the outside, hope they throw it up the inside and force you off, and you can just come together and take them out. We're at that point now, we're here towards the end of the season. If Bottas would have to seriously think about making a move similar to that and just holding on to it on Verstappen in the hope that he takes him out to help secure Hamilton the title. It is not fair, but unfortunately that is the rules that Red Bull is starting. Oh god, I'm going the wrong way, ain't it? No, there's a gap here. But that unfortunately is the way Red Bull has been racing and the conditions that they've been establishing, and quite frankly Mercedes will just have to play to that. Mercedes has been quite fair in this season in being fair to Red Bull, but that's over now. You just have to get dirty and get stuck in there and just play their game and beat them at it. But yeah, it's it's very hard to be positive about Formula One with partly where we're going, and then we have races of just utter tedium like Mexico and at Qatar. Because I mean, they were both. I mean, nothing beats Mexico in terms of just tedium, just absolute giving up on life. Just watching that. Like, if you're going to give me 23, 25 races a year where 10 of them are going to be like that, and let's be fair, it is, because they aren't going to those bloody tracks because they're good race tracks, they're going to them because they're paying money, then quite frankly, I'm going to have second thoughts. And then if you're going to have such toxic people in the sport as Helmut Marko and Christian Horner, and frankly, just not worth it. And like the top of everything else, having the audacity to say that Hamilton drove the cool-down lap with his belts loosened was setting a bad example to junior drivers, when apparently it is now okay to just fall somebody off the track. Just, I mean, at Interlagos, after that event, it was quite hard to not see the FIA as favouring a change in the status quo. They quite clearly wanted a new world champion. Having had a new set of people in the stewards office, in again being Tim Mayer, I think, is it Tim or Tom Mayer? Tim Mayer? I think it was, and Gary Connolly and Manuel Pirro, who, as far as I'm aware, every time there's been common sense and logic and consistency being applied at race meetings in F1, they've been the stewards making those decisions. So, yeah, it doesn't really surprise me. And they straight up said, with regards to Verstappen, that car 55, Carlos Sainz, noted the car. He was not aware of any yellow flags. He hadn't seen the yellow flags. He had seen his car stopped and assumed there would be a yellow flag. And so he slowed down. And that's what Max Verstappen should have done. He didn't. Therefore, he got a 5-place quit penalty. Bottas didn't stop either, but he only went through it with a single waved yellow. So you got a 3-place penalty, which is what you get for that. Again, a shocking amount of common sense having been applied this past weekend. I'm not used to that in F1. And I'm of the opinion that we should have permanent stewards, and it should be those 3, because clearly they make logical decisions. And that's all you really want. You want consistency and just logic and common sense. Because every single person I've heard from a professional racing driver's point has pretty much just said, yeah, Verstappen either had absolutely no intent of making that corner whatsoever, or he just ran him off. Which, you know, it's a bit of the same thing, really. Because, yeah, again, he didn't have any intent of making that apex. But, yeah, anyway, hey-ho, hey-ho, hey-ho. It's F1, it's a load of bollocks. Everybody knows that. Anyway, is there anything else that we can harvest now? Because that was Field 53. That needs lime. So let's get lime in. What do we want to use for lime spreading? Let's just use the deer. Oh, there's the chair that we threw out earlier. Oh, hello, tractor. We need to go over here. Whoop, avoid the New Holland. Let me go this way, and then we never mind the corn header. Go around here. Whoops, and around, and then down here we've got that spreader. Then we will see as soon as we spread just a little bit here if we can merge those two together. Whoops, stop, and just look down here. Whoop, invert our driving direction. And stop. And forwards. So let's start off over in this corner. We can go ahead and start throwing it out here. And there we go. So let's just go ahead and see. No, indeed not. We don't need to plough here. So we just need to... Well, we can also expand this field a bit. We can expand it closer to the stream. We can probably go a bit closer to the railway line. We can merge those two fields together and a bit closer to the road and the trees over there as well. But yeah, for some reason on this, the US mode just has... Oh, in the US configuration, just have wheel weights on permanently. Is this a thing in America? Like, I'm not aware of that being a thing over here. Like, it seems weird, especially with the combine harvester that I've got, the Case Exile Flow. That comes with dual front wheels, well, twin front wheels as default. Presumably to spread the weight out, so you don't compress the field a bit too much, because, you know, soil compaction is the thing and it's a problem in farming. So that could be a thing over there, but that kind of goes against it with the wheel weights, because that would logically put more weight on the ground and be worse for that. But again, I'm hashtag not a farmer, so I don't really know what I'm talking about here. I'm just trying to apply some logic to this whole mess, and logic doesn't go with life at the moment anyway. Oh boy, we got an olive harvester, and it is a is that a sub brand of, that might be a sub brand of New Holland then, would be my logic anyway. Train, yeah, cho bip bip. That's a really bright flash in my room when I do that. It's neat. It's completely pointless. But I can kind of guess that they wanted to do something different to their previous collector's editions, which I believe have all had like models of tractors, like small models of tractors. Like the 19 collector's edition that I have has had a small, weirdly, a John Deere that wasn't in the game. And for this one, there wasn't really any major new brands that they added in, right? No, there wasn't, because in terms of brands they added in here, we've had them pretty much all. We've got AGCO, which came in 17, I want to say. Was that 17? I want to say it was 17 that AGCO came in. And then we had, we've had Case New Holland. Was it just Case in Farming Simulator 13 Titanium? I think it might have just been Case there. Then we had both CNH in 15. Then in 17 we had... Oh yeah, then in 17 we had AGCO being added in with Massey, Fendt and Voltra. And then we had Farming Simulator 19 with John Deere. John Deere, that was our start, wasn't it? Yeah, it was, because that's the collector's edition, which did have as I said, a little John Deere tractor included. And then the expansion had Class being added in. I mean, that's 2 huge scoops they got in just for Farming Simulator 19 alone. Like 2 huge brands to getting signed on for just that one game. And here they've sort of just incorporated all of that together in one, and it's real neat. Oh, I've just noticed on my boxed edition, down here on the actual case, it's a Massey Ferguson, but on the cover of the collector's edition, it is the Magnum, the Case Magnum. So that's neat. They've got 2 different tractors there featured. That's kind of cool. Also, we've got in terms of additions, really, we don't know. We've got these small tractors down here, which, you know, I mean, they look adorable. Look at that. It's baby's first Fendt. And then, of course, you go all the way in here. We've got these that you should expect. Down here, we've got a couple of oldies, which is nice. We've got these old Valtra, which as soon as we go over to a European map, I'll obviously get, because that's nice. It's very nice indeed. Valtra Velmet, as they were called. But we are coming up here to the end of the field. We shall nip you around. We'll just do it down here. We shall have a look-see towards the end here. Boom, boom, boom. That's looking decent, isn't it? So that will be all lined up. We just need to cultivate that down into the ground. And then we will be ready to rock and roll. So you cultivate that down and we can just expand over into neighbouring fields and do all of that. And do it up there because we don't really need that throughway because it comes up there anyway. Yeah. And down here we'll expand, but we can't really do that. We can, whoop, stop. Done a bit of a whoopsie. But yeah, whoop, let's just get you turned around and up here. Let's just confirm once and for all that as of today on October the 1st, we do not have any fields that are waiting to be harvested, correct? Oh, we do. We've got field 39. Field 39 is desperate to be harvested, so... Okay, let's power you back up here, mate. Forwards, please. Forwards. Forwards we go. Now, what we will need to do... Let me just real quick, because the stream here is very contradictory on YouTube, because it says excellent condition, but it keeps buffering for me. So, can we just very quickly verify that it is working? Oh my god, my browser. Maybe it's just because my browser's running so bloody slow. So let me just shut down Firefoxes. Oh, maybe that is why, because we have a browser going with this open. That's no good. So let's open up here, you. And then we do you. And then we wait a moment down here, boom, because yeah, Firefox is a bit slow when it's been running for a while and you've left Windows open. That'll hog a lot of resources. So if we go in here to you, there you go, and then you will be boob up. It says connect streaming software. It is connecting. Down here, quality, that's very low. So can we, no. Can we go to you? And can I go to the actual, just give me my stream, please. Come on, YouTube. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Just need to be ready to mute you. Yes, there we go. That's running fine. That's beautiful. Absolute gorgeous down here. Let's just quickly move you over here. So we use this instead. Just bring up OBS on top. There we go. Sort it out. In we are. Yes, smooth. Smooth. Oh, no. Or is it? No, it's still paused. Still paused. Still paused. So that's why it's looking a bit weird. There we go. So we will just quickly hook you up here, please, for us. Hook you. Thank you. Forward. And it is field number 39, so it's just straight over and then it's the big one, innit? Yeah, big one right over here that we can do. That field is growing. Do we own? We own both. But, yeah, that's the other one with the soybeans to our left. And that's the one that we seeded, and that's already grown a fair old whack. We need to fertilise that as well. So yeah, it's a busy day at the farm. Look at all of this we need to be doing, eh? So much to be done in the farming world. Now, what's an old Danish children's song about a farmer who's always very busy because there's always 1,000 things to do around the farm. Which is, and that was back then. From admittedly, it's kind of taken a bit of a taint with, you know, every British children's entertainer, but certainly here, you know, again, that generation of like 70s, 80s children's people, still just really lovely. Maybe we just naive. Maybe they were also, you know, touching kids, and not in that way, but in the bad way. But yep, just again, just lovely. Forward, stop, stop, stop. Otherwise, the county's going to send me a massive bill for knocking over a sign. And I don't mean a bill like in Bill Gates. They're gonna just send me a massive bloke called Bill. Like some fat bloke that works at the county comes round and just sits on your front step until he gets bored and then he goes home. That's not what I mean. What I mean, they sent me a bill, an invoice. Because, you know, it costs them money. But yeah, we may actually now get a chance to see if we fill up that bloody wagon. The Fleel, which again, not very American, but again, I don't think in terms of trailers. I mean, I suppose maybe it's because Americans, they kind of just use these instead of... I mean, what is this even? That's just a lorry trailer. What's that about? Because those are definitely European. Like, these are definitely European. That's the first American. That's American. Demco. Is that also American or is that Oz? Are we doing under? Oh, it's a bloody huge one, mate. Whatever it is, it's big. And Elmer's manufacturing, that just sounds very American, doesn't it? We can put a plate on it. So maybe, is that what Americans do? Do they have a bin thing down here? A chaser bin? Or whatever you call them down here. We can change configuration. Or we can have a big one and a small one. What else can we have? And then we got the walkabout. Oh, a walkabout. Oh, yeah, bro. Look at that right here. It's bloody huge. What kind of bloody tractor tow is this about? It's a bloody big one, ain't it? And we got the bloody road train going right here. Oh, yeah, bro. And then we got Harvard, and then Amity Technology. That's for beets, isn't it? Yeah, beet cart. And then a bagman for... What are you for? Let's not be on the rail line, please. Just a personal preference, what that I have. Let's just turn you around here. Throw you back up again, please. Forwards. It even does a noise now for when you are harvesting and you're hitting the crops. Because that would logically make noise, but yeah. Is that what Americans would be doing? Down here, I mean, what is this for? That's for beet, that's for potato. Oh, so this, if you're Irish, this is like pornography for you, isn't it? And what is this? What is that? That's a weird old thing right there. But yeah, European, and then we come into America, and then down under. But yeah, they're big boys, aren't they, down here? Why is the Elmer's more expensive than the Demco? Like, obviously that is cheaper. Down here they convey all, and we can't really do much there. So is that just what Americans use instead? Like, should I be using trucks instead of that? But again, it feels like it's not big enough. Down here, like, what is my current trailer size in the Fleel? The Vliegel, that's 40. And what are you? You are 46. So, I mean, I guess I could. And, like, with you, do I need to, like, buy that just so it feels more appropriate for America? Maybe I do. Maybe I need to get myself a lorry. Do I? Because, like, over here, you don't really tend to see that on the fields. So, yeah, maybe we do. Maybe we bloody well do. We'll turn this around and then we'll do it. Fuck it. Fuck it. We'll do it live, y'all. We'll do it live. We'll turn this around and then we will get right into that. Stop. I've hit the sign. Oh, God. Now Bill's going to come round and drop a turd on my lawn. Wait, that's not a bad thing because that'll help the lawn grow, or is that just weeing? We need to be sure about that, otherwise we need to know the appropriate response to Bill when he comes around. Anyway, let's do that. Trailers, then, in that case, it's a Demco side dump. Oh, don't know if we want to be doing that. Is there not a better American? Well, there's a Wilson, a pace setter from Wilson. Yeah, alright, bro. Main colour. Can we change? Okay, we're on plates. Back only, please, for me. Gracias. That's the wrong thing. That's the wrong thing. That's the... That's it. Black. That looks good, doesn't it? We've got a plate, so buy that. Go back out here. What we can then do is... Let's go down to what we own. Or we can buy a womb. Well, we don't want to buy a womb. What we want to do, we're going to trailers, and then we want to sell our fleet. Let's... first of all, where is set fleet right now? It is right here. We have just confirmed that it is empty. So let's jump back over to you here. Good stuff, good stuff. So we can now go in here and sell the fleet. Then a bye-bye fleet. Auf Wiedersehen. We will most likely see you again. Trucks. Cheapest one. We can grab the Anthem, but no, let's grab you. Design. Day cap. Oh, we go an American Truck Simulator right here. Engine size. Yeah, 40, that's fine. And main colour, can we change that to... Yeah, weirdly, I quite like that. Rim colour, no, definitely don't need to be that. It just needs to be grey. And then plate. Plate, yes, please, front and back. Yes, please. Oh, and look at me timing it to the end. Timing it right to the end. We probably need to do a line down here and sort this out. We'll obviously also need to plough this field, so that's a... Well, it's not a pain really, because I wasn't planning on expanding this field or merging it either. What's on the small field down here? Let's quickly just check to see. That's corn, so that cornfield is ready to be harvested. But yeah, we'll need to make sure once we reach the end. Well, we've only filled it 38% right now, so yeah, that's all right. But we can do a nice good run down here. But yeah, this is a pretty big field actually, looking at it now. And also, why is there just a road there? That clearly doesn't feel like it needs to be there. And yeah, we can also run this closer to the railway line. Definitely want to be doing that when we plough. Might want to grab a second plough actually, just so we have a smaller plough for field expanding. That seems like a logical approach, really. Oh, my phone is starting to feel the burn just a bit. I recorded, well, I did and recorded a video of an endurance race last night where I talked for quite a bit as well. So there's been a lot of talking recently, and my throat might not be too pleased about that. But we'll get stuck in here and we'll get this field down, dusted, and done. What else do we have? Yeah, that's looking fine, isn't it? It does look quite cartoonish with those trees in the distance, the colours they have. But, you know, with the... we've got weather coming. We are expecting rain. Oh, high stakes farming. We need the 24. And that like multi-cut of effects down here as we rush to harvest. Although admittedly we're rushing at 6 miles an hour, so it's not super duper rushing, is it? And yeah, look at that AI speeds are higher, much higher. Is that a normal road or is that the motorway running in the middle? It's a normal road running up there, so that's good. And the motorway's in between. Weirdly, that reminds me of... Oh, was it South Dakota? A 16 times map for Farming Simulator 13 that I played a tiny bit on. Which was sort of neat-ish. I mean, again, the issue with those massive maps even way back then was the size, or rather quantity to quality in the map. It was kind of a priority of making, okay, maps can be big. We're going to lose some quality in the map design, but you know, you'll have just the sheer size of it to compensate for that. And For some people, that is what works for them, others not. I mean, it would be nice if you had both, but you also have to accept that there's a bloody lot of work that goes into making a good-looking map and expecting it to be... I mean, I think, again, the 16 times isn't just 16 times, it's the exponential growth. Similar thing with, like, a screen. Because if you do it twice, if you... It's very weird, but it's a proportional growth. That's why, like, moving from 720p to 1080p is such a huge change, because you get far more... It's weird, and it's mass, and it's weird, and I don't like it because it's confusing. But yeah, when you're talking about a sort of area like that, it grows exponentially. So, yep. That's probably why, because, it's a lot bigger. But hopefully, #hopefully, we'll be able to see some high-quality maps coming here as well. I mean, we've seen it for the previous... I mean, just Farming Simulator 19 had a lot of really nice maps in there. Although, a part of me is not concerned, but just thinking that some of the modders are probably just going to hold back with their super high quality projects until they do the inevitable mod contest, which might come at a cost here early doors of high quality content, but who knows. I also hope that this new cycle they have with 19, where they delayed it a year, might help them, or help us, sort of grow the difference between, the gap between releases, because if we move up to obviously having every 3 years rather than every 2 years, it does mean that there's A, much more room for improvement, and B, it gives us as customers a better position in terms of mod creators. They have more time to develop mods for the game, so they're able to commit more resources to it, which would be nice, because Farming Simulator 19 really just took on a whole new life with modding. And if this is the starting point for Farming Simulator 22, then frankly, it's going to be incredible to see what the modders can come up with. It's going to be amazing. I'm predicting it now, it'll be amazing. Because they're very good. All of these modders are super talented at what they do. I mean, some of them, I think Wopster and, I mean, the Realismus team, they're pretty much, at least one of those guys are from Giants now. And you've got also like Vertex Modding, who also do like really high quality stuff, although I don't think I saw much of their stuff in Farming Simulator 19, but certainly with Holzhausen and a few other maps they've done previously has been good, like really good, top quality content I put in a lot of hours into. But yeah, let's just be mindful here of our fill level, because it's going up. Can we quickly take a pause, go down to the calendar, see, oh, it's coming in the evening time. The rain is coming in some hours, so we shall plough on until the, well, not plough, we're going to harvest on until the rain comes. When it does come, we will go ahead and pack it in for the day, I suspect. But until then, we're now up to 80%. And we need to grab that bloody truck. Yeah, we got ourselves a semi. Yee-haw. Pow, 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 pow. Of course, we should be shooting because we're driving a semi. Yes, we're not driving with a semi. We're driving a semi. In a moment, we are anyway. Now we are combine harvesting. So let's just get ready as we reach the end here. Probably will be a good time to do it. I don't even know. Is this field... see, it's only slightly fertilised and it hasn't been weeded out at all, so the yield is down pretty significantly. I mean, we could see down here that will give us a yield drop of minus 35 and some fertilizer issuing right there as well. So yeah, the theory here is that yield could go up significantly here. Let's just stop the combine harvester here. Let's move over to Mack Trucks. Pinnacle. Yeah, that's a good horn. Down here, the orange beast. We're ready to roll with the Wilson. The painted volleyball attached to our rear endo. Oh yeah, we can just roll that off here. That's neat, that's neat. Oh, it's a new one. I thought this was an old one, but that clearly looks like a new steering wheel, and it's got the dash from, yeah, that's neat. It's got an Allison box on it, doesn't it? That looks more Allison than anything. Oh, we're speeding. That's a 35-mile-an-hour sign. Bring it back down here to 35, please. Thank you. We've got mud, snow, and air traffic control. Interesting. Does this have... Nope. This does not have any flashing lights, so we are just truckering on here. We've got lots of lights on the trailer. That is not a step. I repeat, not a step. Where do we turn? We need to move out to the outside lane. Smooth as operator. We need to turn down it. Why is there a cone right in the middle of the road? That seems like slightly counterproductive to my money, but I'm not doing that, am I? I'm driving here. Meep meep. Meep 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 meep. We shall turn you off here and bring you in. Let's just open you up here. Ooh, look at that. That's a complicated trailer. So we'll leave the truck here and we'll just unload into that, shall we? Just wait until it empties out. Please empty for me, thank you. Please empty. They've definitely slowed down the emptying in this, it feels like. They made it slightly more realistic, which again, a nice touch. I can appreciate that. Let's just do another row down here so we spread it out a bit more, so we have a bit more of a turning radius in the field itself. So if that is to that point, because obviously the field gets longer. So yeah, we're probably going to fill up that truck down here, and even with all the loss in yield. So that's neat. It's nice. It's a good one run here. It will quickly turn you into here, and then did we stop? No, it's just the LOD business that looks a bit weird there. Let's turn off our yellow rotator beacon. And down here we go. Ready again. Just mindful of the time. We do want to get a wiggle on, as rain is coming at some point or another. And it did say, oh boy, it did say to me that the weather forecast doesn't necessarily have to be 100% accurate. And it does feel like it's clouding over more and more now. So yeah, let's see here. It definitely feels like it's more cloudy than it has been previous. So that's not altogether brilliantly, but we'll try and get as much of it done as we can. At least we don't have any animals that need to be tended to, and I'll rely we have no pens yet. I mean, I do. I've got a... Where is my pen? I was going to make a joke about me having a pen. But now I don't know where my pen is. Pen is... That's penis. Where? Where? Because you know, penis. Anyway, we'll crack on. We'll harvest this field down here. Next season, we might want to grab some... Well, the issue here now with corn is that we pretty much had to plough everything. Oi, oi. So it'll be hard to figure out where we want to do that, because wherever we plant it, we will be... We'll be ploughing again. So, yeah. Yeah. I'm a gangster. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, because it would be nice if we had some animals. But again, we need to just take into account that they might be quite large, the areas they're kept in, depending on what we go for. Yeah, there's a lot to factor in, because we haven't really had any grains There's certainly not really any grains this year that's produced straw. So that's a problem as well to take into account, and we need some grassland. There's really a lot to do if you're going to have some... Oh, hello. So, see, I'm not here. I'm now here. I'm not here. I'm here. That... You've broken your wrist. That's not how steering wheels work. Oh dear. Oh. Ooh. Also, we have the legs sometimes just appear and disappear. That's a bit awkward. That is awkward. But okay, we can live with that level of awkward, can't we? I'll just run it down here. Certainly, you know, we don't have long fingers, which seems to be a thing in the GTA. Why do people still have faith in Rockstar? Have they not proven altogether now that they can't be trusted to provide a good product anymore? They were the gold standard for decades. Rockstar was the gold standard. I mean, right up until the launch of GTA 5, they were the gold standard. And then it went wrong. Oh, so wrong. Because let's keep in mind, GTA 5 is still the latest major... Okay, they had Red Dead 2 come out after. But in terms of... Like, GTA is the biggest franchise in gaming. I mean, it just is. But there hasn't been a new GTA since 2013? Let's keep that in mind. GTA 5 is almost 10 years old. Like, it's 8 years old this year. It'll be 9 years next year. They, in that period, what have they done? They've made some stuff for GTA Online that they've absolutely milked. And... yeah, you know, that's been their focus. They've clearly deprioritised the single player part. I haven't played Red Dead 2, but I've heard mixed things about it. I've heard that it's absolutely brilliant in every way imaginable, and other things, the story is tediously slow in the single player part. So I don't know what to make of that. But just in terms of Rockstar in general, I have to say I have... little to no faith. I mean, they're not very consumer friendly. They've taken down mods for GTA 5. They've made it worse. The single player part has been made worse by them by adding in DLC to the single player part, so it forces players to go into the multiplayer. And then we've seen what they've done with the GTA. Well, they also took down the multiplayer mod, the 5 multiplayer, didn't they? Because it infringed upon their copyright and all of that stuff, because they didn't want their multiplayer customers going over there. Oh no, we can't have that, can we? And then they started taking down Vice City and San Andreas mods before the release of the remastered versions, which turns out to be significantly worse in every way imaginable than the original ones. And I'm happy. I've still got... I mean, I can just turn around and then... if I look in the right shelf... And yep, there they are. I can see the Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for my PlayStation 2. Technically, I don't have a PlayStation 2, but I could play them if I did. Well, no, I couldn't because they were on SCART and I needed to... How would I even go about playing that? These old consoles don't work these days because nowadays we sit too far away from the television for them to work. I sit, even a standard PS2 controller is too short on its cable for me to reach my telly. I need to put it on my coffee table. That's weird. That's weird. That's really weird if you think about it. as a gamer these days, we're so used to having not widescreen controllers, wireless controllers, that we don't take into account the fact that the old school, like the DualShock 2 controllers, they had a wire cable connected to them. But like when I was a kid, like my PS2, certainly for the most of it, was connected to a 20-inch TV. It started off with a 14-inch TV, and then I got an upgrade to a 20-inch TV. And then, like many years later, just as I started to become a teenager, I saved up money. I could buy, I think it was a 25 or 29-inch widescreen television. It was still a CRT, but it was big and it was widescreen. It was amazing. But yeah, that's what we had back then. So even if I were to play them, I'd need to figure out how I would do it with the SCART, because it had the 3 things that you put into the SCART. And obviously modern day televisions can't even do SCART. So, I mean, there's probably people who watch me who don't know what a SCART is. A SCART was some sort of weird plug on the back of a television that you could connect things to back in the day. I generally can't describe it. It looked very funky. Look up SCART. It sounds like some sort of indie band, but it was actually a connector. It's a bit like the PS2 for like mouse and keyboard back in the day. Or VGA is... I mean, people would still encounter VGA these days if they have like a job. Because there's a surprising amount of people who are still running some enterprises and, you know, business setups around the world that, I mean, fucking hell, someone's still running XP. Or worse, I got new glasses earlier this month and they were like running a weird old system. Like they had a monitor from like the year 2000, one of the first flat or LCD monitors. And they were running like a blue with grey text on it, like a DOS type thing. And I was just like, wow, what year is this? When I saw that. But yeah, in terms of, you know, how would I even do that? Because I got a lot of good old PS2 games. It was a good era. Very good era. Unfortunately for me, a lot of that was just through the library, so I don't have most of them anymore. Which is a bit annoying, really. Because my local library had loads of PS2 games that you could borrow for like 2 weeks at a time. It was great. Like as a teenager, that's what you... Really just the perfect setup right there. A, it's free. Providing you obviously, you know, return it like a book. You return it on time. But other than that, you could just play it for like 2 weeks. That's enough time as a teenager to complete most games, and you could just borrow it again if, you know, it wasn't reserved. It was fantastic. It was a best experience because I got to play so many more games than I normally would have if I had to, you know, I mean, there was, you know, you could rent games at like Blockbuster and that, but Blockbuster wasn't a thing. There was a local kiosk that had that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, that was just neat. So a lot of the games that I played back then was actually through the library, so I don't actually own them, but I played them a lot, which is annoying now because now I can't play them unless I buy them somewhere. Oh well. Oh well, indeed. We'll just get stuck in here, finish this row, I suppose. We will, yes, well we will. It's down here to the end and back, and we are filling this up nicely. Let's just quickly confirm with the weather system. Moving in, please, for me. Say thank you. It hasn't moved forward, so I suspect it's still on there, but obviously it could just change and start raining, and then we'll have to just park up for the moment. Because that is what we do. We can't harvest when it's raining. But yeah, that Rockstar thing was just a mess. They left in music they didn't have the rights to, but they just told the code to not play it. That's not smart. I cannot express to you how not smart that is. They could get sued from here to Santa Fe, probably back again, just based upon how absolutely atrociously bad that is for them. Because there's one thing we know is that the music industry really doesn't like people doing it. It's not like they're Adobe who kind of like, whatever, people pirate our stuff, yeah, but you know, people who pirate it might end up working for companies that buy it off of it in the future, so what's the big deal, really? Like, that's a weird case, really, where you could argue that piracy has straight up benefited the actual, you know, rights holders, certainly for Adobe, because the people who, you know, pirated Photoshop back in the day, you know, when they were young. I say back in the day because I was once a youth who had an interest back then in that kind of stuff, and so you would get Photoshop and you would learn it, and then I started a degree where we needed knowledge of Photoshop, and I already knew sort of things about it. So that was a benefit, right? Like, if I'd gotten work in that field, you know, that would have been a great benefit to them, because I would have gone in there and I would have gone, yep, I know this program, Photoshop, and then it would be good for everybody. But hey ho. Yes. Anyway, piracy, music, they don't like it, do they? The music industry, record labels, really not a fan of that. Well, we know that. We know the Napster thing, right? Oh boy, Metallica didn't like that, did they? Suddenly they were the master of puppets, right? They were the ones in control of the disposable heroes. They were entering the Sandman. Oh yes, they were. They were batterying. They were seeking and destroying. They had become the harvester of sorrow. Sure, that's a metaphor, isn't it? But yeah, anyway, piracy is... See, again, I was young. I didn't have any money. So when I was young and I didn't have any money, couldn't buy that stuff anyway that I pirated it. Then I became an adult and I had a job where I made money, and I started buying the things that I had previously pirated because I knew it was good. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. I mean, there are obviously people out there that's never going to buy something and they would just take it for free. They're just, you know, freeloaders. You know, that's just the way they are. But I think the vast majority of people who pirate stuff when they're young will stop doing it when they start earning money, and they will buy stuff that previously they pirated, or they buy the new stuff that people who they pirated from in the past because they know it was good. Like, I'm trying to think of an example for me what that could be, but in terms of games, what would that be? Because I mean, in terms of pirating, I think I pirated Emergency 4 and then I bought it, so that's one point there. I've actually bought it a couple of times. So yeah, that's probably a really good one because I still sort of play that one. And then there was what else? GTA I always had on consoles, so that wasn't really a thing. That was the thing back in the day with console gaming. When I was really into that, you couldn't really pirate back in the day on consoles. Wasn't really possible. But on PC it was. What else did we do? NASCAR racing. No, that was from the library. The library, again, very weird. Like, things you would definitely not expect a Danish library to have is a PC copy of NASCAR Papyrus NASCAR Racing 2000. No, not 2003. NASCAR Racing 4. The one they did in 2001, which had Dale Earnhardt in the game. I remember that much. That was also pre-Safer Barriers, because I remember all the super speedways didn't have that, so I played that. That again, that was a library that wasn't pirated. See, I'm struggling to think of that because yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, it was also like a bit of music, but these days, you know, you've got Apple Music or you've got Spotify or whatever else services that are available for that, and you've got streaming services. Like the only real reason these days you'd pirate something like that is really because it's not available in your area. As far as I can see anyway, because for me it was quite annoying. It was either last year or the year before. I started watching Scrubs around this time of year because it was available on the streaming service. And then it was all of a sudden, pretty much as I started watching, it just started showing up as having like 30 days to go. That must have been right at the start of December. So I just had to thrash through Scrubs, which was a bit annoying. Because, you know, it was kind of like you were on a timer to watch a TV show and you had to just get through it. Thankfully, the last season never happened, so that's always a positive. But yeah, see, that was a show that I remember from, again, being younger. And it was on TV, but clearly I wasn't in the right frame of mind to watch it. You know, like, you need to be mentally in the right place to watch a show like Scrubs, because it kind of toes the line between serious, like really fucking dark serious stuff and just pure silly comedy, and you need to be in a place where you understand the seriousness and the comedy, and they can kind of balance that out, because otherwise it just feels a bit jarring. But yeah, that's definitely very. It was a good show. Oh yeah, of course, Top Gear. Yeah, I used to get pirated to shit, but you know, these days they're on the fucking Amazon thing, so that's a fucking fair one, isn't it? It's a fair cop these days to go after them, because you know, if Amazon's not going to fucking pay taxes, why should we pay them? Fuck them. I really can't blame anybody for doing it. I mean, my view on those three guys is that they reached a point about. I mean, I'd have to, you know, like when Top Gear was taken off air because Jeremy Clarkson punched the producer. Let's not forget that. They kind of reached a point where they had to make a decision. Like, okay, are we going to continue or are we going to stop? And they decided they continued, and so, you know, that probably was the time they should have stopped. Because, like, the last couple of seasons of Top Gear weren't particularly good. Like, if you watch them back now, there were a few good episodes in there. I thought not the Australian special, but not the Afghan special, the Argentinian special was really good. Like, that was some of the better Top Gear they'd done. Obviously that ended quite poorly due to reasons of yes, yeah, that happened. But yeah, other than that, it was just a bit, you know, it should have ended much sooner than that, but it was making the money, so they just continued, and then, you know, it was ran into the ground. One of the best ones they did, in my opinion, was when they did Cheap Rallycross. That was such a good episode. Like, maybe it was because it happened right when I was coming down with stress, and I just kind of had a breakdown, and I was coming out of like 3 weeks of flu, and that was kind of like the first thing, like after that initial just complete shock, was that when I was starting just, you know, physically to get better, mentally not so much, but you know, that be that as it may, still that having that there was an episode that was a really good, because it wasn't over the top or anything like that. It was just, it was positive. That's the thing. It was positive. They weren't against each other. it wasn't that antagonistic. It wasn't trying to be provocative. They weren't trying to push anything. It was just good, nice, positive, good vibes. It was good vibes TV, that episode. Because they were all there to have a good time and have fun, and it was just far more relaxed and just more authentic in the way they were interacting with each other and with the people around them. And, it was just nice to see. And that's really their best bit. Their best bit for me has always been when things weren't as straight-laced and they were a bit more relaxed. Like when they did the old cars. Like they bought the old cars and they did a regulation rally on, was it Las Palmas or Mallorca? That's also one of the absolute best. I mean, there was a bit of week around Hammond. And that one, if I remember, where he was paired up with a guy even shorter than him, and they just did a bit on that, and that just grated me a bit. But other than that, having Clarkson with the Spanish bloke who didn't speak English, and they were just completely, that was so good. Because he was talking to him very angrily in Spanish, and he wasn't. Yeah, it was great. So good. I just wonder about the auction. Yeah, I mean, again, those were the really fun moments, and just where they just got to have fun, and they weren't putting on anything, and they could just be themselves. That was when it was really good for me. Also, whenever somebody hurt the testicles, like the Bolivia special, that's also a really good one. Although there's too many insects for me to like it. I liked the first bit of the Bolivia special. The second bit, I just... see, it always goes a bit off for me with Top Gear when they started to modify their cars. That's always when I'm like, did you have to do that? Because you had something nice and you had a relationship with it, and then you ruined it. Because Clarkson inevitably makes it a lot worse. Like, he does something that makes it absolutely horrible to be in and use in every way. And May just tries to do something but does it incompetently, and Hammond, I don't know about Hammond. Oh yeah, there was the what they call Burma special, but the Myanmar special, Myanmar, what we have to call it now. That was also very good, where they were driving lorries, where one of them was sitting on a church pew. Oh, that looked uncomfortable. That was also quite good. We don't talk about the India special. That wasn't very good. Genuinely detested that from start to finish. Really, really didn't like it. Just too contrived in every way possible. Just awkward. I'm not a huge fan of cringe comedy, so that whole party thing just didn't work for me. I don't like The Office or It's Always Sunny, anything like that. It just, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's deeply uncomfortable. I can't stand it. It's awful. It's awful. Like recently, I've been watching, because I listened to Bob Mortimer's audiobook, or his book, but his audiobook I listened to. Hard to listen to an actual book, so I listened to the audiobook of him telling me. So I've been on YouTube and I've been watching episodes of Shooting Stars. I don't know why that show's funny. I don't know. It just is. It's just really funny. I look at it and I go, there's no way this should be funny. It's just stupid. But it is. Like the bits they do to one another. Like the funniest thing is when Jim Moyer / Vic Reeves does a joke that isn't supposed to land. It's just the funniest thing. Because at least on one of them, I found it hilarious. And I was just laughing. And then they were putting on that deadpan, no, it's not funny. And it just made me laugh even harder. And then just having like famous people, some of whom I have no idea who is. But then you've got, on one episode, you just had Robbie Williams out of Take That and out of Solo Music. Just there having to coo down the dub from above. I mean, there was one episode I watched yesterday that just had American guests on. I don't know what they thought it was. I mean, one of them was Belinda Carlisle. Like, that's Belinda Carlisle. She has to coo down the dove from above and have to sit and look at Matt Lucas doing his mad score things. They must be thinking they are in a fever dream. Because, like, I would imagine there's nothing in American television that's quite like Shooting Stars. So, yeah. Yeah. It's just, again, it's just stupid. It's silly. It's not... It's stupid, it's silly, it's self-defecating. It's defecating to everyone on the show, really. Is it defecating? No, not defecating. Defecating, that's shitting. Self-defacing? It's, you know, it's poking fun of everybody on it, but it's good-natured. You know, it's not done with an evil approach. And also, having listened to the audiobook, I know that Mark Lamar was sort of there to subvert them and undermine them because they were being silly and stupid, and he was there to not re-engage with it. And that, so it became like a game for them to get him to laugh because he was, you know, he was not supposed to laugh. He was supposed to be like straight-faced and just a bit grumpy and that, and they could play off of that. But as it turns out, he's really bad at it, Mark Lamar, because you can just see him crack up constantly. Oh, I mean, seriously, go watch Shooting Stars. It's fantastic. It's just, I mean, it might not be your cup of tea, but if it is, it's really your cup of tea, and it's my cup of tea. I don't know why it's funny. It really shouldn't be. I accept 100%. It's not objectively funny, because it's not clever comedy. It's just stupid silliness. Like they do at the end, they do like a bonus score thing. One of them is literally, we'll drop an increasingly large size fruit on your head, and if you don't flinch, you get more money. That's just good comedy. It's just good TV. Watching people get hit in the head with stuff is good comedy. Yeah. Like, pretty sure for Christmas, what I'm going to do when I've had far too much to eat is I'm just going to lie back and I'm going to watch Robot Wars. Like the old Robot Wars, like season 2 onwards, the Craig Charles era Robot Wars, when they just do the fighter bits, not the first series where they have weird. Jeremy Clarkson was on that. Very weird, but yeah, watch that. And then Takeshi's Castle. Oh, Takeshi's Castle. Season 1, Takeshi's Castle. So good. It's Craig Charles again being quite racist towards Japanese people, whilst simultaneously being quite coked up. I'm pretty sure that was around the time he was on a pretty large coke bender. But, oh, it's funny. It's apparently Takeshi's Castle is a pretty serious, or was a pretty serious, Japanese game competition thing where you had to fight your way through some challenges, and then you got to take on Takeshi and try and take his castle. And it was like quite serious and straight faced, but what they did with Takeshi's Castle in Britain, certainly in UK TV, because I remember watching that on, weirdly, on German sports TV, because I mentioned it in the past. We had I think it was like a dodgy satellite back in the day when I was a kid, where we had DSF, Deutsche Sportfernseher, I think it stood for. We also watched Monster Jam in German. Yes, Monster Jam in German. Yes, that's the thing. And Takeshi's Castle also in German. So it didn't quite have the same humour on top of it. It just had a German bloke talking about it. But that was an experience. Then I watched it on YouTube, found Takeshi's Castle, and the British version is where they've just taken that and they've taken everything out of context. They're not trying to tell the story, of like a serious competition, but it's just Craig Charles and, a script that he wrote with someone, and it's just poking fun of it, and it's just slapstick, people falling over, getting hit in the balls, and it's great. Like, there's one round where they have a labyrinth they need to run through, And there's some big burly Japanese people in there who are very scary. And in some of the rounds, it's about in that labyrinth. I think they have children from obviously the children of the parents competing, who are going to have to guide their parents through the maze. But there are people in there going to catch them out, and they absolutely smash the shit out of the parents. It's hilarious, and you can just see the children standing up there at top. And just having to watch the parent run for their lives down there, and then they get caught, and it's just so funny. And the children end up crying. It's great. It's great television, let me tell you. It's worth watching. It's of its time. It's of late 90s, early 2000s. So a lot of the things that I said probably wouldn't fly today. But it's still really funny. The same thing with Shooting Stars. Some of that stuff would under no circumstances be allowed on television today. Like there is a running gag in it in which Big Reeves will rub his thighs whilst staring at if it's an attractive woman competing or being on the show. Obviously, in a sort of sexual manner, like, oh yeah, look at this. That wouldn't work today. I look at that and I go, oh, did we really think that was okay? You go, oh no, that's no, let's not do that. Let's not use sexual harassment or sexual inappropriate behaviour like that as comedy. Even though it was, the 90s and whatnot, still just, no thank you, no thank you. Also, it's a weird experience in celebrity. Because a lot of those people you don't know about these days. Like Robbie Williams. Yes, we know about Robbie Williams. We know about Mark Lamar. Who else has been? I mean, Bob Mortimer. Vig and Bob, obviously. Who doesn't know Vig and Bob? They're just amazing. Ulrika Johnson is the other captain on it. They have Bill Oddie on. And one of the other from the goodies. Other than that, it's a parade of people. Belinda Carlisle, of course. But yeah, generally, it's just a parade of people who are no longer famous. Let's just flash our lights here, just for no reason. Yeah, people who, were famous, but are now not. Either because, they're old or they're dead, in some cases. So, yeah. That is indeed a thing. But it's a very good show, and if you just like stupid things, like just pure nonsensical stuff, that is a good show to watch. Because it's really stupid. It's really stupid. And it makes no sense a lot of the time, and it's good for it. It's weird questions. It's sometimes real questions mixed in with just complete randomness. But yes, I think since we've been going for how long? Oh yeah, nearly 3 hours now, 2 hours and 45 minutes. I think we'll wrap it up here for tonight. This has been Farming Simulator 22. It is most excellent. Wow, we just changed over from day to the evening. That's not a smooth transition, but it's a transition. Thank you very much for watching. Let's just quickly do pause and save. And we will say thank you very much for watching. Good night.